do that.
If everybody could have a seat, we're going to get started. So we'll call the Metropolitan Planning Commission to order. I appreciate everybody coming down. And our first item is the adoption of the agenda. And you all have the agenda in front of you. Councilman Hunt.
I got an issue that I need to get straightened out. I was reading the minutes.
Well, let's adopt the agenda first, Councilman, and then we'll get to the minutes next.
Okay.
So is there any, you all have the agenda in front of you, any corrections or additions to the agenda? Seeing none, all in favor of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Agenda is adopted. Now we're on item number C, letter C, the approval of, there's actually 2 minutes that we're approving tonight. There's the April 23rd minutes and also the May 14th. They were in your packets that were mailed to you. And so now, Councilman Hunt,
Well, I wanted to speak on the minutes of April 23rd.
Okay.
On page 8, there is an issue where it was indicating that I spoke in opposition to the application and stated that I would like both sides to get together and work out a compromise. That's not exactly correct. What I did, I spoke on the history of the church.
Okay.
And doing so, after I spoke on the history of the church, based on what I know by the former minister and the history of the church, I said I wanted to see if I could get both sides to talk about it some more, to work it out, and come to some kind of agreement. I actually voted for the issue. I was never in opposition of that issue.
Okay, so as it reads, Councilman Hunt spoke in opposition. I think we could strike the words "in opposition to the application" and replace it with Councilman Hunt spoke on the history of the church and the project, and then pick it back where it says, and stated that he would like both sides to get together and work out a compromise. Would that work for you?
That sounds right.
Do we have that properly recorded?
No, that was a motion as corrected.
A motion as corrected for the minutes. Why don't we, is there any other additions or corrections? And we could.
Not on my part. The only part I was looking at, I just wanted to make sure that it was clear that I spoke on the history of the church. And I was never in opposition of the issue. And I asked, maybe could both sides get together and come out of compromise, and then I voted for the issue.
Well, and then, okay. And so I think that we cleared up the language, and I think that.
I haven't found it yet in the minutes. What was the vote recorded?
Well, that's on page 8, and then on page 9, Andre pointed out the vote is right on top of that. And so, Councilman, the vote reflects a motion to disapprove, 8 to disapprove, and then 1 recuse. So you actually voted against the this particular motion, right?
No, I voted for.
So the motion was to disapprove. You voted against the motion to disapprove. So you wanted to approve it.
In other words, I want to be recorded that I was not in opposition of the issue.
The problem is there were no negative votes to that motion when the actual vote was taken.
Where is that?
Let's ask our legal counsel and see.
Make it 7-1.
I mean, we can go back and check the record. We can do that.
That's fine. I just didn't. I remembered it being a unanimous vote.
I do too,
If
but
it's
we'll check the
different,
record.
We should do that.
We'll check the record, but we will reflect the right language, which now reads, Councilman Hunt spoke on the history of the church and the project and stated that he would like both sides to get together and work out a compromise.
That's right.
Okay, and then we'll let them review the minutes, the vote.
I was thinking on the vote itself, I voted for that particular issue.
Okay.
We'll check and make sure that we'll reflect what the actual. We have the presentation. We have it on video, so we'll check and make sure how it's voted. So.
Okay. Any other corrections or additions on April 23rd minutes or the May 14th minutes? So is there a motion to approve as corrected?
So move.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Now we're on letter D, recognition of council members. I only saw one council members, Peter Westerholm.
Wait. Did we get both sets of minutes?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
We took them both up at the same time, and that's okay, according to our legal counsel. Yep.
There we have a council member.
Councilman Westerholm, come on up.
Good afternoon, members of
Are we on?
members of the commission.
Wait a second, is it on?
I believe that, there it is. Yeah, I believe that both items that I came to speak on behalf of are on consent. And so as long as that remains the case, I have nothing.
We don't have anything taken off the consent. Okay, and so we'll make sure of that, and then we'll get to that.
If something
So-
gets pulled, I'll be happy to come and speak with you.
Thank you, Councilman. So now we're Nashville Next, and Rick, you have a brief update?
Yeah, just a very brief update. We have been, one thing I want to make you aware, the printing of the static draft was delayed. The original cost had increased 5 times, and we had to work with our printing shop to do that. So it's underway now. Hopefully, we'll have that either in the next few days or the first of next week, and we'll get them to you as soon as possible. They are online and there. We've been spending an extensive amount of time trying to refine the procedure for the public hearing. We met today with the IT department to make sure that we had the proper equipment and availability. For your information, we're going to be available and open and start taking applicants that want to speak to the commission at 2:30 on that on June the 15th. We have prepared a series of aids, we think, for the commission to use during the meeting. We believe we figured out a way to actually show the maps. When someone wants to come up and speak about a specific area, we're going to be able to display the location, we believe, on your screen. We're going to tie everything that's going to be presented to you will be tied to a speaker number so that there will be consistency in terms of that. We're also going to, as you know, we were going to group speakers in kind of 30-minute segments. At the beginning of each of those segments, we're going to pass out a list of the numbers that are going to be speaking, the location and the address, and kind of a note sheet for you. So as something's going on, you can take note and tie all that together. And then at the end, of course, as we talked about, we'll have a list of the requested amendments. All of those are going to have the same numbering system and be tied to you. So we're working on making sure that flows. On June 9th, we actually have a live walkthrough, so we'll see if there's any bugs or snags there. So I just wanted to make you aware.
Rick, I have a question. Can the public sign up for a time to speak prior to the hearing?
No, they could actually download the form and fill the form out at home, but they need to bring it in and here and be here in order to get a number and sign in. Right.
Thank you.
Rick, I know you told us this, but when does that meeting on the 15th begin?
The meeting on the 15th begins at 3 o'clock. That will include, basically we're going to start the meeting, we're going to open it just like this meeting in terms of the mayor will make an address, a few more remarks to the commission. We anticipate that there will be council members here that want to make remarks to the commission. Following that, there will be a staff report, and then the public hearing will open probably between 3:30 and 4 o'clock.
And we have an ending date of 8, but I suppose that is subject to whether or not we really end or not. We're not going to leave anybody out here.
No, the procedures that you adopted are that you will stay here until all the people have been heard.
All right.
So you might want to bring your pajamas, and we just need to make sure and be prepared that we're going to be here a while that night. It's a good point, Stuart. Bring it.
Thank you.
And any other questions on the Nashville Next hearing? Okay. Next item is item F, items for deferral withdrawal. Bob, you're going to take us through that.
Yes, there are several items for deferral, starting with item number 3. This is case number 2015 SP-016-001 on page 6 of your agenda. This is a request to rezone from MUI-A to SP zoning for properties located at 1912, 1918, and 1922 Broadway to permit a mixed-use development. Staff recommendation is to defer to the June 11th Planning Commission meeting. Next item is item 7, case number 2014 SP-047-001. This is a request to rezone from AR2A to SP zoning for a portion of property located at Highway 100 unnumbered to permit 3 buildings with a restaurant, automobile convenience, and retail use, as well as community meeting space. Staff recommendation is to defer to the June 11th Planning Commission meeting. Next item is number 9, 2015 SP-043-001. This is a request to rezone from RS15 to SP zoning for properties located at 7037 Highway 70 South and Highway 70 South unnumbered to permit up to 17,000 square feet of commercial and office space and up to 115 multifamily units. Staff recommendation is to defer to the June 11th Planning Commission meeting. Next item is item 10, case number 2015 SP-047-001. This is a request to rezone from AR2A and R80 to SP zoning for property located at Old Charlotte Pike unnumbered to permit up to 38 single-family dwelling units. The staff recommendation is to defer indefinitely. Next item is item 11A, case 2015 SP-048-001. This is a request to rezone from CF to SP zoning for property located at Demumbrian Street, 16th Avenue South, and McGavick Street to permit a mixed-use development. Staff recommendation is to defer to June 11th. Next item is the Associated Urban Design Overlay cancellation, case 11, item number 11B, case 2001 UD-002-010. This is a request to cancel 12 properties from the Music Row Urban Design Overlay District located at Demumbrian Street, 12th Avenue South, and McGavick Street. And staff recommendation is to defer to the June 11th Planning Commission meeting. Next item is item 19, case number 122-83P-001. This is a request to revise a portion of the Woodlands Residential PUD Overlay District and for final site plan approval for property located at 1203 Pineview Lane. Staff recommendation is to defer to the June 11th Planning Commission meeting. Those are all of the items on the deferral list.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. So, Commissioners, you've heard the items. Let's go over these.
Did you have item 20?
No, I don't have item 20 as a deferral at this point. The Lakes of Bellevue.
Okay, thank you.
The deferral or consent?
Yeah, well, I thought it came up for deferral. I thought they requested deferral today.
No, not on that one.
Okay.
I haven't. Yeah.
So, Bob, what is item 20?
That item 20 will come up on the consent agenda. It's
Okay.
not on the deferral list.
Okay, perfect. So now, everybody, just so we know, we have items, we'll go slow, 3, 7, 9, 10, 11A, 11B, and 19. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Any other questions on the deferrals? Is there a motion to defer items 3, 7, 9, 10, 11A, 11B, and 19? It's been a motion. Second?
Second.
All in favor of deferring these items, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Bob, we're on item G, consent.
Okay.
If y'all could just leave quietly, we appreciate it. Thank you for coming down.
Before I get to the consent agenda, as information for our audience, if you're not satisfied with the decision made by the Planning Commission today, you may appeal the decision by petitioning for a writ of cert with the Davidson County Chancery or Circuit Court. Your appeal must be filed within 60 days of the date of entry of the Planning Commission's decision. To ensure that your appeal is filed in a timely manner and that all procedural requirements have been met, please be advised that you should contact independent legal counsel. As noticed to the public, items on the consent agenda will be voted on at a single time. No individual public hearing will be held, nor will the commission debate these items unless a member of the audience or the commission requests that the item be removed from the consent agenda. So as I read these items into the consent agenda, please raise your hand if you'd like it removed. First item on the consent agenda is item 1A, 2015 CP-005-002. This is a request to amend the East Nashville Community Plan, the 2006 update, by changing the community character policy from T4 Urban Neighborhood Maintenance to T4 Urban Neighborhood Center for a portion of property located at 1716 Greenwood Avenue. This is actually, staff is recommending that it be withdrawn because it's an associated case with item 1B, and it will no longer be necessary. So it's actually not an approval, but it's a withdraw request from staff. The associated case 1B is 2015 SP-040-001. This is a request to rezone from R6 to SP zoning for property located at 1716 Greenwood Avenue to permit residential and mixed-use development. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions and disapprove without all conditions. Next case is item 2A, case 2015Z-003TX-001. This is a request to amend Chapter 17.37 and 1740 of the Metropolitan Code to update the downtown code standards. Staff recommendation is to approve with an amendment. Item 2B, case number 2015Z-003TX-002. This is a request to amend Chapter 1712 of the Metropolitan Code to update the downtown code standards as well. Staff recommendation is to approve. Next item is item 4, case number 2015 SP-037-001. This is a request to rezone from R6 to SP zoning for properties located at 512, 514, 518, and 520 Southgate Avenue and 1608 Pillow Street to permit a multifamily residential development with up to 46 units. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions and disapprove without all conditions. And I'll note on that item that Commissioner G is recusing himself. Next item is item 5, case number 2015 SP-038-001. This is a request to rezone from R8 to SP zoning for property located at 5825 and 5827 Leslie Avenue and Leslie Avenue unnumbered to permit up to 15 detached residential units. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions and disapprove without all conditions, including revised conditions that limit the number of units to 13 detached residential units with a height limitation of 2 stories within 35 feet, and that a revised staff plan shall be submitted prior to third reading at Metro Council. Next item is item 6, case 128-78G-001. This is a request to amend the Hermitage Business Center Commercial PUD Overlay District for a portion of property located at 4001 Lebanon Pike to add 1.2 acres to the boundary of the PUD. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions and disapprove without all conditions. Next item is item 8. 2014 SP-056-001. This is a request to rezone from R6 to SP zoning for properties located at 1400 Pillow Street, 411 and 413 Merritt Avenue to permit up to 34 attached residential dwelling units. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions and disapprove without all conditions. Next item is item 12. 2015 SP-054-001. This is a request to rezone from R6 to SP zoning for property located at 9th Avenue North to permit up to 24 residential units. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions and disapprove without all conditions. Next item is item 13, case number 2015 SP-055-001. This is a request to rezone from OL and RS10 to SP zoning for property located at Whitsitt Road, unnumbered, to permit a 2,800 square foot office with 5,000 square foot storage facility, storage building. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions and disapprove without all conditions. Next item is item 14, case 2015Z-034PR-001. This is a request to rezone from R6 to MUGA zoning for properties located at 400 and 404 Dominican Drive and Dominican Drive unnumbered. Staff recommendation is to approve. Next item is item 16, case 2015Z-036PR-001. This is a request to rezone from CN to CL zoning for property located at 1201 Porter Road. Staff recommendation is to approve. Next item is item 17, case 2015Z-037PR-001. This is a request to rezone from RS5 and RM20A, rezone from RS5 to RM20A zoning for property located at 407 Douglas Avenue. Staff recommendation is to approve. Next item is item 18, case 2015Z-038PR-001. This is a request to rezone from RS5 to R6 zoning for property located at 1014 Sharp Avenue. Staff recommendation is to approve. Next item is item 20, case number 146-83P-001. This is a request to revise the preliminary plan and for final site plan approval for the residential PUD overlay located at 6860 Highway 70 South to permit a 3,400 square foot leasing office and 1,000 square foot maintenance building. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions. Next case is item 21, case number 89P-028-001. This is a request to revise a portion of the preliminary plan and for final site plan approval for the commercial PUD overlay located at 201 Rudy Circle to permit a dual drive-through addition to the McDonald's. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions. Item 22 is case number 2015S-063-001. This is a request for final plat approval to create two lots on property located at 1305 McChesney Avenue. Staff recommendation is to approve with conditions. And then under other business, item 23, a request from Commissioner Clifton for a periodic review of the Nashville Highlands PUD, which is case number 73-85P, consistent with section 17.40.120H of the zoning code, which would be considered at the July 23rd, 2015 Planning Commission meeting. Staff recommends approval of that being considered on that date. Item number 24 is an agreement between Smart Growth America and the Nashville-Davidson County Metropolitan Planning Commission, acting on behalf of the Nashville area MPO for assistance in carrying out general planning activities identified in the MPO's adopted fiscal year 2015 Unified Planning Work Program. Staff recommendation is to approve. Item 25 under other business is to reduce and extend the performance bond for Dorset Park Phase 1, Section 1, which is subdivision number 2008S-095G-10, pursuant to Section 6-3.2 of the Metropolitan Subdivision Regulations, and staff recommends approval of that reduction and extension. And the last item is item 29, is to accept the director's report and approve administrative items.
Just a note on item 29, I'm withdrawing your request to approve the UDO items. They'll come back at the next meeting, but other than that, the rest of the director's report.
Thank you, Rick. Bob, anything else?
That is all.
All right, so let's be clear. I'm going to go through these slow and then tell you who's, if anybody's going to recuse themselves. So item 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, and 4, and Commissioner G needs to recuse himself on item 4. Item 5, 6, 8, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 29.
As amended.
As amended. Any?
Chair?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask a clarifying question just for
Please.
Commission's
Go ahead, Commissioner.
sake and the public's. On item number 2, staff report says staff recommendation is to approve. Bob, you said with amendment. Is that the same amendment for the downtown code that we received in our package?
Right, I believe that was in your packet.
No other changes to that? Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, Commissioners? Audience? All right, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as noted? Motion, second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. The consent agenda has passed. Now, we're going to open up and if everybody could just try to exit out quietly, we really appreciate you coming down. And then we're going to open the public hearing for item 15, is that correct? 15. Item 15. Lisa?
This is a request to rezone property from RS40 to RM20. The property is located at 6411 Charlotte Road Circle. Charlotte Road Circle is a frontage road located off of Charlotte Pike. Staff recommendation is to disapprove. The existing policy for the area is T3 Suburban Neighborhood Maintenance. The intent of the Suburban Neighborhood Maintenance policy is to preserve the general character of suburban neighborhoods as characterized by their development patterns, building form, land use, and associated public realm. While there may be some change over time, the existing character of the neighborhood should be retained. The Growth and Preservation Concept Map does not propose any changes to the existing policy for the area. The request is inconsistent with the T3 Suburban Neighborhood Maintenance Policy. It's inconsistent with the existing development pattern along Charlotte Road Circle, which is single-family residential on relatively large lots. This aerial shows Charlotte Road Circle, which is currently serves as access for 12 single-family residential platted lots. The lot outlined in red is the lot in question that's being requested for rezoning. A rezoning to RM20 could allow for the development of approximately 31 multifamily residential units on that lot. Access is from Charlotte Road Circle, which you can see here from Charlotte Pike. There is a platted setback of 100 feet for all of these lots along Charlotte Road Circle. And so while they could request a setback amendment to allow for the buildings to be closer, but also there would be nothing to prevent parking from being located within that area. This shows a shot of the entrance of Charlotte Road Circle from Charlotte Pike. This is the property is located here, looking down Charlotte Road Circle to give you an idea of the character of the street. And here's one additional. So these are the large lots that are located here. It's heavily wooded here. And there's just another shot of the property. And staff is recommending disapproval of the request as it is inconsistent with the existing development pattern along Charlotte Road Circle. It would allow for an incompatible land use on that street where there are only single-family residential on large lots, and it's not consistent with the T3 Suburban Neighborhood Maintenance Policy.
Thank you, Lisa. Is the applicant here? Will the applicant please come forward? You have 10 minutes to present your application. And you do have the right to have 2 minutes for a rebuttal if you do not use the entire 10 minutes. Come on up. Well, no, you have to use the microphone and please state your name.
Wayne Greer.
And your address and
It's, what I'm trying to get zoned is 6411.
Will you have to tell us your mailing address too, sir?
8853 McCroy Lane, 37221.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead. You may proceed.
The property that I'm trying to get rezoned there, the councilman okayed it, said it's good with him, you know? So where does it go from here?
Well, to answer that question is that if it doesn't pass the planning commission, then it would take 27 votes to be approved at the council, I believe. Is that correct? Instead of the 21.
Yeah. So when will that come up, or when will that have to be done?
Mr. Chairman, if I may intervene here, this is actually a little bit of inappropriate back and forth, basically seeking advice on the process is something that can happen at the staff level, and certainly staff is more than glad to walk you through what some of the processes are. As far as legal advice, we're always quick to encourage folks to consult with their own legal counsel, as you are not that for any applicant when they come
Absolutely.
in. I'm more than happy to have staff help walk you through what the process is, but this, of course, Mr. Chairman, is the opportunity to have any applicant come in and kind of present their case and why they think it should be approved by the commission. That's kind of the only thing it's appropriate for at this juncture.
So, sir, what we would encourage you to do is to present why you think it should be rezoned.
Well, it's a
to
big
the-
apartment house right across the street from it on Charlotte Pike. Probably 150 units, I guess. And it's right in, consistent with everything else that's going on Charlotte Pike, you know? And right off of Charlotte, it's really right on, probably 30 yards from Charlotte Pike. And I've been with a car lot there for 38 years, right next door. And I've seen nobody had any problem with it.
Okay.
So,
Anything else that, why the zoning, you want to do the rezone?
well, no, I just want to build some nice gated piece of property there.
Okay, thank you. And would you like to reserve 2 minutes for your rebuttal after you hear if anybody speaks in opposition?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of the project? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition, please come to the microphone. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? It's their last chance. Seeing nobody willing to speak in opposition, I declare the public hearing closed. And now we're back to the commissioners. Stuart, you want to go first?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to ask the staff to comment on the information presented by the applicant about what it's close to in terms of a large apartment complex and things like that.
There are apartments located here across Charlotte Pike from this property, although this property, which accesses from Charlotte, or fronts on Charlotte Pike, this property fronts on this frontage road that you can see here, Charlotte Road Circle, which accesses from Charlotte Pike, but it's not located directly on Charlotte Pike.
Obviously, it's not unknown for us to approve a higher density on or close to Charlotte Pike. So I'd like a little more elaboration from the staff. And I heard your presentation, but his point is this is fairly close to what's already pretty much multifamily, and what's wrong with doing this? Are there specific factors that we should be thinking about as we evaluate this?
Well, given that Charlotte Road Circle is only accessed for 13, including this one, relatively large single-family lots, and that's how it was subdivided and intended for, is the single-family lots. It's not directly accessed from Charlotte, and so you would be adding what could be a considerable number of daily car trips to what is essentially a frontage road that's not directly accessed from Charlotte.
I think that the applicant could propose a rezoning that would allow an appropriate transition from the existing commercial to the property next door, but it would need to be more of a design-based, and as opposed to simply a request for an RM 20 rezoning.
Something with specifics and
Right.
stuff. Now, it's currently RS 40,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Is there any RM on this side of Charlotte, close by, on the side that this proposed project is on?
There is a RM9 PUD located, separated by this wooded lot.
The
from
Watts Lane.
property. Yeah.
Okay. Is that on the same side of this, of Charlotte?
It is, yeah. The site in question's here, located in red. Their access is from Watts Lane that's off of
All
Charlotte.
right. Thank you, Mr.
Commissioner Gee.
What's the use directly next door, the commercial use?
This is a car lot here.
Okay. And that's CS zone?
It's correct. It's on CS.
That's all good.
Vivian? Go ahead.
I agree with the staff's analysis. The way that the application's presented right now, it would not be compatible with either the policy or the pattern of the housing right now, or appropriate for that frontage road, although I did think the idea of maybe doing something a little bit differently with that property could possibly work.
Councilman Hunt?
I have no comments.
All right. Commissioner Clark? No? We do need a motion.
Well, I'd like to state that, if I could make a comment.
Yes,
before-
please. Yes.
I don't think the current zoning is necessarily what it should remain. The staff has sort of indicated that there are options there. But I do agree that this probably isn't it without more processed and nuanced development here. So I don't want our position to be seen as saying that the status quo is the only thing we think goes there. But having said that, I do agree that it needs more work and needs to be some specific conditions put in, specific situations dealt with. So I would move that we approve the staff recommendation to disapprove.
Okay. There's been a motion to approve the staff recommendation and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor of the staff recommendation, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it, and it is recommended to disapprove. Looking at the agenda, let's see. I have nothing on parks. Anything else? The Historic Commission? Commissioner Hunt? Councilman? Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Okay, and we conversed, and it was indicated that the chairman wanted to remain in the position, so I'm making a motion that we maintain the chairman and the vice chairman in the current position that they're in from the committee, okay?
Okay. I don't know if I can share that, but that's okay. I can share that. Okay, so there's been a motion. So y'all met and
Yes.
talked about the officers.
Right.
Good deal. I appreciate that. And so the chairman will remain, and I'll remain as vice chair. And then if I win the vote, is there any other nominations? There's been a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Councilman. Another year of pain. No, just kidding. Anything else?
The only, the director's report is that we did present to the council our budget request last week, and I thought that went well, and we look forward to council acting to enhance our budget. And thank you.
Good deal. Seeing no opposition, we move adjourned.